Let us quickly explore how some gamers treat their favorite games like a religious cult and defend it at all costs. Oh, and by the way, if I sound a bit odd, I just moved, so I'm sitting in a largely empty room. Anyways, we here at ESCalation are often fascinated by the things people are so eager to defend. When we criticize a game, or merely a certain aspect of a game, people crawl out of all corners of the internet to argue vehemently in favor of the issue we direct our criticism at. And that's completely fine, you are entitled to your opinion. It is just kinda funny. People often do not watch a review of a game to get informed about it. No, they just want their already formed opinion to be confirmed. And if that doesn't happen, they get cranky in the comment section. But don't get us wrong, express your opinions and point out mistakes. Constructive criticism is always welcome, but that is not the issue we want to talk about. Today it's about people and their comments, people who feel attacked when you criticize something they like. A certain game offers better guns for real money. Don't point that out, because I like the game and that would make it sound bad. Yeah, we got a lot of those. This phenomenon isn't even limited to the world of gaming, nor is it a recent occurrence. Since the beginning of time, people have felt connected to things and institutions, and they get angry when they were criticized. Be it an ideology, the church, a celebrity, a car brand, Android and Apple, consoles and PCs, etc. Let's quickly set the scene how this topic came up. Just recently, we criticized the pay-to-win mechanics in the game Enlisted. Apart from these issues, it is a decent game. Craftsmanship-wise, perfectly done. However, the looming sword of over-monetization and pay-to-win stuff just hangs over this game, and unfortunately for me, that kind of dooms it, because... And many commentators told us, this is not pay-to-win, for reasons X, Y and Z. My absolute favorite is, it's not pay-to-win, it is pay-to-progress. Ah, pay-to-progress, yes of course. And what does this progression grant you? Possibly quick access to conditions that grant you more potent equipment for achieving victory? And what's another word for victory? Winning, maybe? So you paid to progress faster towards favorable winning conditions? Yeah, that's totally a different thing. It's totally not paying for a bonus. A pretty good definition of what pay to win is: if you can get an advantage over an opponent with real money, it is pay to win. Many people seem to think pay to win means a certain item can only be obtained with real money and not through some long backbreaking grind as well. At the moment where you can buy an advantage with real money over players who do not invest money, it is pay to win, even if there's a way to acquire the item in other ways somehow. Proclaiming it is pay to progress as if that was a good thing is pretty stupid. Pay to progress is pay to win in other words. Yes, Enlisted is free to play. They need to make money somehow. We just pointed out that the pay to win aspect is annoying and holds down an otherwise okay game. So we didn't rip apart the game itself, merely the tacked on micro and macro transactions. Yeah, $50 for a virtual tank is a bit much in my opinion. All this little criticism was enough to tick some people off. Many people feel personally attacked if someone criticizes something they like, and then they throw themselves into the line of fire with burning torches and argue with emotional and often stupid or outright wrong arguments to defend a product and or company that does not give a single fuck about their customers and their support. If we and many other people criticize something, it usually does not mean that the entire product is bad. Criticism is an indication of a problem that in best case scenarios can be addressed and fixed. Also, nobody said that you are not allowed to like the corresponding product or have fun with it. No product in the whole world is absolutely perfect. There's always a weak point and some problems. As a small example, I love the movie Pacific Rim. Many critics have panned it as a stupid, mindless action spectacle which is completely illogical. And that's absolutely correct. The film is incredibly stupid if you think about it for 5 seconds. But still, I love to watch it, and I'm happy when the giant robot hits the monster. The kaiju thingy. Pow! Right in the kisser. Most of my favorite games have big problems, and these games are often criticized for that. Hell, we here at ESCalation love all those Valve games, yet we criticize them and we listen to others ripping them apart. Still, not taking it personally, even though we dedicated a large portion of our life to playing Valve games. People often get way too invested into something, be it a game, a certain console, or a less trivial thing like a political ideology. If you are emotionally invested in something, it often becomes a part of your identity to a certain extent. You commit a lot of time and or money to it, and admitting that this thing you spent so much time and money on is flawed could mean that you are flawed, meaning you were wrong and wasted time and money. Imagine you bought an Xbox and now your PlayStation-owning peers tell you how much worse your system is. Whether or not they are right, you might feel compelled to defend your thing, because criticism of the Xbox by PlayStation fans is an attack on you by proxy. You spent 200 hours playing that one game and spent $100 on in-game items, and now someone comes along telling you that the game is bad or the virtual knives are stupid, and of course you are up in arms. He is questioning your life decisions. In the realm of video games, this thing is usually harmless, but you could certainly draw parallels to religious cults there. Imagine your aunt spent the last 6 years following a guru and gave him all her worldly possessions, buying all of his books, paying thousands of dollars for strange seminars, and now you tell her that this was a series of stupid decisions? Even if she knows you're right on some level and she knows that was a bad idea, admitting that would mean admitting she wasted her life. And leaving all that behind would mean a massive cut through her life. So many people just choose to live in ignorance and argue for it vehemently. I know, it's an extreme example, but these things go down in a similar fashion, even though this was a lot more extreme. But I mean, come on. The way some people treat Apple products or their favorite console, that can be pretty cultish. Criticism is often a form of love, or at least a wish for a product to be better because the critic does like the product at hand. When we say Enlisted is not a bad game in itself, but the pay-to-win stuff keeps us from recommending it, it means that the game is good, or at least okay. And that this one mechanic, or monetization aspect in particular, is the aspect that in our mind is not okay. That can be separate from the main game, because yes, the monetization stuff is completely tacked on. Enlisted would work without the microtransaction stuff. And for the record, I do not want to deny that I have never fallen into this trap myself. I have found myself being a defender of a product or a game and have argued for or against the other side. In retrospect, that was stupid and ignorant. You have to understand that if you defend a product, and by extension some random company, then you allow yourself to be instrumentalized by said company that only wants one thing: your money. Or why do you think a first-person shooter needs so many microtransactions and grindy stuff? The game would function fine without it. That's all just in there to keep you spending money. So be aware of what you defend. If you defend lazy monetization schemes like an artificially slow grind and speed it up by extra payments, then that's just pretty sad. We actually had people telling us that this slow grind is what keeps them playing. So the gameplay itself is not what gets them hooked, it's just the grinding up levels, the few flashing numbers in the end of the match? That's the thing that you like? That's depressing. That's sad. Really sad, but that's a topic for another day. Of course, the PR department is pretty happy if you defend a product, because such consumers that do that often simply eat up everything the company serves them, whether it's good or bad. If you like the artificially grindy games and you enjoy paying money for less grind, all power to you. Everyone can play what they want, everyone can have fun with what they want, and yes, nobody attacks you personally if they criticize something. Maybe think about that. Don't let yourself be taken advantage of and become a human advertising platform. Just relax a little, okay? And think about it. And after such a message of peace, I think we need to address the grind in games and pay-to-win stuff in particular in a future video. And I guess that video will be more ranty even. Just let me say that if you actually think that pay-to-progress is something fundamentally different than pay-to-win, then you, sir, are a cretin. In the end, I would like to thank our supporters on Patreon, who of course got to see this video well before anyone else. These wonderful people are Lone Wolf, Zad Gladys, Wrapped in Glass, Cookie, Uncle DG, Harrison Steffens, Plasma, Tome, Rainbow Flash, Grizzly Were, Strange Module, Tainsa, Cop Fighter, Inter, Charles Surratt, and Sir K. These wonderful people keep the lights on here. And if you enjoyed our content, maybe consider supporting us as well. Press the like button and subscribe for future content. So, see you guys next time. Until then, have a nice day, and as always, goodbye and guten Tag.